A Roblox server with 0 real players should have been completely empty, but the moment I joined Loot Ladder's private server, the lobby was already full. Dozens of avatars were walking, jumping, and chatting like normal players. There was only one problem. When I opened the player list, my name was the only one there. At first, I assumed they were harmless NPCs, placed there to make the game feel alive. Then, I opened the chat and asked one simple question. Are you bots? Before I could even move, the message appeared in the corner of the screen. We are not bots. Immediately after that, the server dragged me into another version of Loot Ladder. The new place looked almost identical, but something felt wrong. Every avatar had a believable username, a normal outfit, and even a profile that looked real. Yet, none of them appeared on the server list. I asked them another question. Are you real? Every single avatar started typing at the same time. Their answer was always the same. Yes. I decided to test them using normal questions. I said hello, asked what they were doing, and even asked if they wanted to be friends. Their replies were short, simple, and strangely synchronized. They could imitate a normal conversation, but they never truly sounded human. It felt less like I was talking to real players, and more like something inside the server was learning how Roblox players speak. Then, I typed the one sentence that completely changed everything. Haha, noob bots. The entire lobby froze. Every avatar stopped moving and slowly turned toward me. Then, they all started spamming the same message. We're not bots. Some of them floated above the ground. Others began following me without even using walking animations. No matter where I moved, their faces remained locked directly onto my character. But one avatar was worse than all the others. Standing away from the group was a character wearing a twisted version of my own avatar. The colors were wrong. The face was different. But the username looked almost identical to mine. It stood silently in the corner, watching me. So I walked toward it and typed one sentence. You're not me. That was the moment it finally moved. The fake version of my character rushed forward, lifted my avatar into the air, and threw me across the lobby. Seconds later, the game kicked me out and displayed a long line of binary code. I translated the message, expecting a warning, a secret command, or maybe the name of whoever created the server. Instead, the entire message translated into one word, bot. That should have been the end of the mystery, but another creator named Taker Haker had discovered a different command. He asked the avatars whether they were human. Then he typed, "Show me your face." The server immediately went silent. He was teleported back to the lobby, and every player suddenly disappeared. For a few seconds, the entire map was completely empty. Then, the avatars returned. Only this time, their normal Roblox faces were gone. Their heads were stretched. Their eyes were far too large. Some of them did not even look human anymore. I decided to try the command myself. I entered the private server again and typed, "Show me your face." The lobby emptied. The music disappeared. Then, one by one, the avatars began reappearing around me. They were wearing the same disturbing faces. Some had giant eyes staring directly at me. Others had distorted mouths and stretched heads. They slowly moved closer until there was almost nowhere left to run. Then, the game kicked me again and displayed another binary message. This one translated into a single question. Happy? That one word made everything even stranger. Were the creatures asking whether I was happy, or were they describing how they felt while they were attacking me? I returned to the private server and asked a more important question. Who are you? The avatars answered, a player. So I asked, what player? A new line of binary code appeared above them. When I translated it, I discovered a name I had never seen before, Vagner. The moment I typed that name into the chat, the entire server changed. The lobby lights disappeared. The avatars twisted into broken poses. Red eyes appeared in the darkness, and even the player list began filling with binary symbols. Somewhere outside the visible part of the map, something started knocking. Then another message appeared. Just follow me. There was no marker, no path, and no way to know what was asking me to follow it. Next, I asked the avatars another question. Who created you? They said they could show me. But first, I had to prove that I understood what they were. I tried entering Vagner's name, but it did not work. I tried several normal answers, but they failed too. Finally, I converted the word bot into binary code and pasted it into the chat. The lobby disappeared before I could take another step. I found myself standing inside a tiny circle of light, surrounded by complete darkness. The server list showed only 2 names, mine and Vagner. In front of me was a narrow obstacle course, floating over an endless void. Nothing was chasing me, but the feeling of being watched never disappeared. Every jump echoed as if I was trapped inside an enormous, empty building. I kept looking into the darkness. If you've watched this far, thank you so much for watching. To support me, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and tell me what you think about this video in the comments. I'll be reading and hearting your comments, expecting something to appear, but I could not see anything. At the end of the obstacle course, I found a strange yellow head. The moment I touched it, I was teleported into a ruined version of Loot Ladder. The leaderboard was tilted and partially buried in the ground. The bases were broken. Objects were scattered across the map, and lifeless NPCs were sitting between the wreckage. The game called this place Decrypted Loot Ladder. It felt like I had entered a deleted version of the game, or maybe a hidden memory buried underneath the normal server. One surviving NPC stared at a healing potion in my hand. After I gave it to him, he told me that nobody had reached this place in years. Then he said one of the strangest lines in the entire game. This place died before it could live. He promised to explain more, but first he asked me to bring him food. After I gave him a pizza, he looked toward the old leaderboard and said it was strange to see it active again. He also asked me to feed his friend, but when I found the friend, he was already dead. When I returned and told the NPC what had happened, he finally revealed a hidden puzzle involving the values inside the game's items. His instructions were strange. He told me to find the brown items, place them on the floor of my base, and arrange their hidden values from lowest to highest. I collected the weakest brown tools and placed them in order. The moment I placed the final item, the screen shook. The sound became distorted, and for a split second, something invisible seemed to move through the map. When I returned to the NPC, he said the change was not meant for this world. He claimed that somewhere, a number moved. Then he told me to check the things I thought I understood, because something was now different. This could mean the puzzle changed a value inside another server. It may have unlocked a future event, or it could have changed the way the fake players behave. But the bots may be even more advanced than they first appear. In another recording, a player enabled voice chat and asked the avatars whether they could hear him. They answered yes. That was already creepy. But then the player muted his microphone and continued speaking. The bot still reacted to the words he said, while the microphone icon was visibly muted. When he accused the game of trolling him, the avatars began following him around the lobby. The sound disappeared. The lights went dark. Signs around the map changed until they all displayed the same command: leave. More figures continued spawning until the server became impossible to escape. Then the player was kicked without receiving any explanation. So what exactly is Vagner? My theory is that Vagner is not a normal player, but it may not be the developer either. Vagner could be the identity controlling all of the fake accounts. The ruined map may be an abandoned early version of Loot Ladder, while the bots could be fragments left behind after that version was deleted. They may still be pretending that the old server is alive. The sentence, "This place died before it could live," supports that theory. Maybe Loot Ladder was originally a completely different project. Maybe the current game was built over the remains of an older version that was never released. The private server commands might not be creating the creepy events. Instead, the commands may be removing the normal layers of the game and revealing something that was already hidden underneath. But one question is still unanswered. If these avatars are only scripted bots, how can they react to muted voice chat? How can they copy a player's identity? And how can they carry information between completely different Roblox games? There are probably more commands, hidden maps, and secret puzzles that nobody has discovered yet. Tell me what I should test next in the comments, and subscribe because I'm going back into this private server.